Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee with Lisa. I'm Spiritual Coach Lisa Hopp. It is Sunday, May 26, 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you're doing well. For those in the U.S., happy Memorial Day weekend. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend, enjoying it in any way that you want to enjoy it. Honoring those who really gave the greatest sacrifices when they served our country. And it's important because they gave the greatest sacrifice that we honor them by not only honoring them with ceremonies, but also honoring them through living in the moment and having our most wonderful weekend, either in solitude or with those we love, but just living our best life, because that's what they want for us, is to live our best life. For those of you coming back every week, I appreciate you listening to me so very much. This week, I got more testimonials from those who have been listening kind of quietly, not letting me know. And I have to say, I'm just so blown away by that. I'm just so honored, and it just matters so much more than you realize. For those of you coming new, that are here for the first time, welcome. I hope that you will connect with what you hear. And please be sure, if you're listening on YouTube, to like, subscribe, and share. If you're listening through my Facebook business page, to also share and to like. And a reminder that I'm on Instagram under Spiritual Coach Lisa M. Hopp. And also, please be sure to check out my website at lisahopp.com for all about my work and any upcoming events. I would appreciate it so very much. So welcome. So for those of you who listen every week, you know sometimes I'm inspired last minute, and everything I speak about is really an inspiration from heaven. They tell me what to say. This week, they gave me the line without the material. There's no script. There is no script, good listeners. So the topic today is the wounded heal the world. And I'm just going to fly into it right now and let it flow. Having, again, absolutely no idea really where to go with this. But is it a truth? Of course it is. And does heaven know this? Absolutely. And heaven is serving right now. Universe, source is serving right now by giving me that line, because nothing is by chance here. And more than one of you are meant to hear the wounded heal the world and hear this podcast today. It's for you, or it's for someone that you love. And so we're going to dive in right now. So the truth of the matter is that those who heal the world the most are usually those who in the past have needed the most healing, and perhaps still do. It's the greatest trainer. It's acquiring the greatest experience. In my own work, I would not be able to do it in any effective way if I didn't at some personal level understand. I can't always understand entirely what another goes through, but I can have the empathy and the compassion of sometimes coming close or knowing someone who has been through it. And that's very important. Those who have been through the worst are usually those, again, who bring the greatest softness, the greatest understanding, the greatest empathy. You know, it is said sometimes, and I've seen this myself, that you can't really understand unless you've gone through it yourself, or it's not. There are some, I don't want to say many because that's not fair or true, but there are some people that cannot have empathy or compassion unless it happens to them. It doesn't impact them unless it happens to them. I'm not one that's like that, by the way, but some are. It really doesn't matter unless it's directly targeted to them. Most of the time, though, it's not the case, as I said. When we feel another is being, or see another that's being abused, or hear another that's being abused, as a village that we are, as the oneness that we are, it tends to impact us, and we say, no, that's not okay. That's not good. But again, sometimes people are like, no, I can observe it and let it go and think about how things impact me personally. But back to the wounded healing the world. Before we come here, we generally set a blueprint up about what we want to achieve in this world, what lessons we want to learn, what relationships we want to heal. And that is done, that blueprint, that is created through experiences, through meeting people, through events that happen to us. So this really is a purpose to everything generally that happens to us. We can be randomly placed somewhere in order to help another, which we probably agree to. But there is a bigger picture going on. There is a larger purpose and lesson to what we experience, no matter how horrific it is. Sometimes a child that is harmed because they want better to come to the world. And so they say, let me be the conduit for that. Let me be part of that solution, or that hopeful solution, because honestly, we're not always doing enough to bring about healing and solutions through events in this world. We tend to let a lot happen, and eventually we'll get it. Eventually it'll be enough is enough is enough. But for now, things do happen. The other day was the anniversary of the Uvalde in Texas shooting, and we haven't done enough. And I don't know how horrific we have to go, honestly. Do we have to go very horrific and show details enough? But again, though, there will be people to say, well, it didn't happen directly to me or to my child, and I like my world, so it's not going to impact me. But again, at some point, it does. It does now. It does now, but you may not realize it consciously. Everything that happens to one happens to all of us. We feel it like an earthquake ripple. Or it's there so subtly in our interactions with others, or in the things that happen in our lives. It's there. But unless we have to consciously deal with it, we tend to let it go. That wouldn't be me, or that wouldn't happen to me. I remember there was a mass shooting, it was a serial shooting really, in a Maine town. And the people interviewed in this small town said, we never thought it would happen here. There is a lesson in it. It can happen anywhere, at any time. And it's meant about having love and compassion and understanding and ultimate healing. Healing sometimes comes through suffering. Sometimes healing comes through averting suffering. But most of the time, it comes through suffering. It doesn't always come through a tragic event, by the way, or, well, a tragic event. Sometimes it comes through a health scare, where you get healing like you would have never had. Because not only do you start to focus on yourself more, but you also start to live your life in a larger way than you ever did before. So that moment of that diagnosis or that scare in any way, it changes your life forever, or it's meant to. Not everyone gets the message on the first try. Sometimes there's more to be done in the way of healing. But again, there's always a higher good going on. There's always a higher purpose. And that doesn't mean that we shouldn't let the feelings be there, that we shouldn't have a moment where we are emotional, have a good cry, get scared. We have to feel it or we bury it. But then again, then after that, we pick up our bootstraps. And it's so important then to think about how can I grow from this? What am I meant to learn from this? How can I heal? And in often the case, how can I help others? Because that's what it's all about. That's really why we're here, to do that, even if it doesn't seem it at times. Have you ever noticed in your own life, and this probably applies to yourself as well, that yes, you do. Well, let's go to someone giving you help and giving you healing. Isn't it amazing when they've been through so much and you're enamored by what they're able to give with the life they've been through, which they oftentimes will share generously with you? No, those that have been abused are oftentimes those that help the abused. And yes, sometimes those who have been abused often are those that abuse others. And that brings the healing of forgiveness, if you can. And again, another way for you to help others, to understanding through such inner work, inner healing, inner hero. But you see, again, when we go through it, we have choices. We have choices between being a victor or a victim. And you can look at the label of victim and say, yes, I acknowledge that. This is what I've been through. But now I'm going to take it and I'm going to make it a higher good. Or you can dwell within that role of victim forever, which only brings harm and never brings healing. So many choose victor, and that is a well done. That is a monumental moment. Because in that role of victor, that is where the great work begins. That is when the foundations are set up and the speeches are given and the healing occurs for others, the transformation of the soul and of the world. It is needed, it is wanted, it is desired. And that again is the purpose. There's nothing more amazing than having someone understand where you've been at some level. To be able to say you are acceptable, you are lovable. It is all right that you had that moment or those moments or those years. And only someone who understands it at some level, most likely, can say that to you. But heaven always sends those people to us. Sometimes it's through word of mouth. Sometimes it's through a moment in a store. Sometimes it's in other ways that we don't expect. But heaven always sends the helpers. Perhaps it's just turning on a random TV show and heaven sends the helpers. But they send them to you to let you know not only are you not alone, but that you are loved, that you are acceptable, that you are more than enough. And for those of you who have been through traumatic experiences and know that you are that and give that to others, you are the saviors. You are the healers on steroid. You are the superheroes. To be able to be harmed and to give love, to be able to give to another what that was not given to you. You are the salt of the earth. And again, that was the purpose, to be that. It's not that we consciously ask for it. In heaven, everything is much more. We have all the wisdom. We have the big picture. We have all the understanding. So it is easier than coming here and actually experiencing it. But yes, you did sign up. You didn't deserve it. Whatever has happened to you that was harmful, that is never anything that can be said. But you did come to this earth hoping that whatever you experience would be for the better. That would matter. That would help another. That would heal. And for a lot of you, well done again. Many times we even bring forward our other lives when we are healing here. It's not even about this one. But there can be mirrors. There can be projections of things happening here that have happened to us before. Because it's all about having that knowledge, that information, that experience in order to help others. So what I want to give to you today is a thought. Acknowledge when you have been through experiences, and by the way, don't downsize them. Don't say, well, I've had harmful experiences emotionally, mentally, physically, mentally happen to me, but not like others. It could be, it wasn't, maybe others had it more worse than me. Don't do that. Acknowledge yours. It's all right. Perhaps it's abandonment for you, of not knowing a parent the way you wanted to, or you lost them too young. Perhaps it's relationship area that hasn't occurred the way you would have asked for it consciously. Perhaps it's just disharmony and dysfunction within your family unit altogether. Perhaps it's other things such as, a moment with a stranger that was harmful. Perhaps it was a cruel word said to you from someone to you. Whatever it may be, don't downsize it. But ask, how could I help another feel better than me? How can I make a difference in this world knowing that I don't want another to feel like that? That I want others to feel better, because that's what it's all about. We are all one. How can we heal another? How can we make others feel better? Wishes come true this way. Good flow happens, good karma. How can I make sure another does not suffer like me? I am so conscious of that. And I'm so grateful I'm conscious of that. What I mean by that is, we all have days when we're tired. I'm very tired right now. You may hear that in my ramblings, my unscripted ramblings. But sometimes we're so tired. Maybe we're sore. I'm not sore right now, by the way, so don't be concerned. But sometimes we are. Sometimes we do too much. Sometimes we burn out. Sometimes we just empty our tank. And then somebody says something to us or tests us, and they don't get our best moment. Or maybe someone just says something that triggers us in some way, during these moments. I'm very conscious of not being triggered anymore. I used to be minimally triggered, but I didn't like that I was triggered at all. And I realized in the past that I was being triggered by things that were being given to me to be triggered by. What I mean by that is it wasn't really my stuff. I was open and responding to others' triggers. And I'm like, no. If it's mine, I heal it. And if it isn't mine, I stop it. Ooh, keep that in mind, okay? Is it really yours? Or is it what others are bringing to you of theirs? Because that happens. Again, we're connected. We are so connected. And so what I mean by what I was going to say here is that I'm so grateful that I'm conscious of how I respond. When I'm having those moments when I'm very tired and very drained, I don't take it out on others. I make sure that even if it's a forced smile, I smile. I make sure to always be kind. Maybe I'm not as warmly kind as I would love to be at all the time, but I always am. Because what you put out, you get back, and also it's who I want to be. I don't want to be that person that might not be kind, truthfully. Now, I have a way about me. I'm doing it less. I haven't done it in a long time. But in the past, if I had a moment where I thought I might have a tone or something, I would apologize. But I have to say to you, 100% of the time, people have said to me, no, you don't have to apologize. But I would say to them, I don't like my tone. I didn't like it, so I want to. But thank you for saying that. And so, there's always do it just in case. That's so very important because sometimes someone's late for the appointment and everything's, kind of off or maybe they come in with a little rub, So we should always be conscious about how we respond to people and always, as much as possible, give our highest selves. Now, if you have a moment where you don't give your highest self, forgive yourself. If you don't apologize in that moment, just forgive yourself, let it go. The wonderful thing about this world is that you have the opportunity to begin again. Every day is a blank slate. Actually, every moment is a blank slate. You can always regroup, reverse, revision. And so go ahead and go at it. Give a little bit more in the next moment, and everything will be rectified. And it'll ripple out to others too. Sometimes I have done that, where I just send them a little positive flow. And so, to anyone, anonymously, privately, because it's so important for the good energy of this earth that wants to come, for the good karma that we all deserve, for just having our highest and best lives and most healed life. And also forgive those who are wounded but want the world to suffer. And I know that's hard because they cause the most harm. And it's very easy to get riled up about that. It's very easy to be enraged by that. Those who are the most violent, who are the most unkind, it's because of their own lack of healing within. It's because they don't love themselves. They hate themselves. They feel insecure about themselves. You can help them to heal by praying for them. You don't have to be kind even. You don't have to speak. Just send it upward, above your pay grade, and wish for them all the best. And even to help yourself to be forgiving of them. You can ask that higher source energy, God, whatever you call it, to help you with it. Help me during this moment because I can't go there by myself. That's okay to do. It's okay. So we tend to sometimes, and I'm not one, but some tend to, what I call project. I'm thankful I don't, because it's so harmful. We do project out, but our world is a mirror. What you look in the mirror and put out, you get back. It reflects back to you. You don't get away with it. You think you are sometimes, but you're not getting away with it. And sometimes it comes in little dribs and drabs. The feedback, the flow back, and sometimes it hits you all at once. I tend to look at people that it hits all at once, and I don't celebrate it. I just say, well, there it is. It just decided it was going to come all at once and hit them. And later, and I have someone in mind that I'm not going to say, but inevitably, what you put out, you get back. And sometimes it's all at the same time. And sometimes you have spaces of time. But everything is taken care of. We don't get away with anything. And so I live like that, knowing. I know that, and I live that way. High road. I'm like a monorail. I'm on the monorail, riding above it. Can I always do it? No, I have emotions, meaning within myself. But do I put them out to others? Nope. No, I'm not going to do it. Would I sometimes love to? Of course. We all have an angel and a devil. But is it for the best? Is it for the best? Maybe. Maybe there's sometimes it's necessary to speak your mind, to express yourself in a kind, productive way. Maybe it's good to write a letter. Maybe it's, though word it correctly, because words written can sometimes not have the tone that we want. But, yes, sometimes that is good. But most of the time, it's best to do the self-talk within yourself. Heal that within yourself. Feel lighter, feel better, feel loved, feel deserving, and then give that best version of you out to the world. So today, I just want to say thank you to those who have served this world. Some of the people serving this world that have been wounded are soldiers. Sometimes they are therapists. Sometimes they're teachers. Sometimes they run a nonprofit. Sometimes they are, yes, even politicians. And they are taking what they've experienced and they said, I want better. I want to give out better. I don't want people to feel the way I have felt. I want them to feel better. Well done. Well done again. Thank you. Thank you. I am one of them. And I am grateful that I have the opportunity to do that. And I always strive to do better and better and better. Because my best self is the greatest helper. Because it brings such a great purpose to this world. Such a great legacy. I'll bet that you listening today, even though you haven't given yourself credit for being a great healer, have a great legacy. Perhaps you've done that legacy as a neighbor, as a friend, as a daughter, as a son. It doesn't have to be in a job. Congratulations if you have also said to yourself, I just want to be a helper. I just want to be happy. I just want to be a part of love. Feeling it, knowing it, giving it. Well done. The smallest gestures bring great healing, just like the large ones. All matters equally. Perhaps you've helped through creative works. There are healers that are artists, that are musicians. It doesn't have to be, again, through a title. You have also done so well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You took your scars and you gave them healing, and because of that have healed the world. Well done. We're all troopers, aren't we? You are. I admire those with strength and conviction, with kindness and compassion, gratitude, that can see the blessings. You are a part of that today and through this week and through the rest of your life. Love who you are. Look in the mirror with kindness. Give to another what you had wished had been given to you. If you do that, you will see so many blessings. So many blessings. Because that's how the energy is set up. What you reveal within yourself and give to another comes back to you multiplied. Thank you so much for joining me today. I always welcome feedback, by the way. But I welcome feedback on this particular podcast because it was more of a ramble. And I appreciate you all again listening. And again, please be sure to go to my website, lisahop.com. Find me at my Facebook business page, Lisa M. Hop, Spiritual Coach and Medium. Instagram, Spiritual Coach Lisa Hop. And as always, I just hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and just many blessings. Thank you.